of those dwellings, if it's under finance, through the bank, usually the bank will take up the house owner insurance. Okay, but if the client, let's say his house already fully paid and he just want to only insure the very basic fire, of course you can still sell them a fire policy. All right, and likewise for contents, if they do not want the householder, they just want to take up just only for the fire, I mean that's fine also. But more appropriately, if you're talking about dwelling, house owner and householder, this will be the more appropriate one. Again, the premium, the protection can varies as well. So in case they ask you if fire is cheaper, why must I go for house owner? Correct? And then house owner and householder, why are you giving me all those like earthquake those like flood extension and so on, when I don't need such cover? Especially like this person staying on a higher ground or staying in a condo, let's say staying on the 10th floor and so on. Why are you giving me a flood extension or impact extension when I don't even need that? You see that? So anyway, we will analyze these two together. Why the fire is cheaper and yet why house owner and householder? Okay, let's look to that later on. Okay, other than householder, of course, we also have this personal or risk. Example, your householder, we're only talking about contents in the building. So if you're talking about all your furniture, fixtures, fitting, your personal effects in the house itself, of course, that's under your householder. But the minute the insurer takes along with them all the portable items, that means their handphone, their laptop, their jewelry outside their premise. So in case they lost their personal effects due to, let's say, due to a snatch theft and so, that will not be covered under householder. That one more appropriately, it will come under your personal or risk cover. Okay, so this always does extend to cover not only premise risk, it can also include the whole of Malaysia and even worldwide, if that cover is required. Okay, besides that personalized, we also have this personal accident. So this PA, there are many kind of PA, of course. So if you are selling a motor insurance example, so the motor, you can cross-sell what they call the driver passengers PA. So other than that PA, of course, you can also sell them the standard PA. And then, of course, you can even extend to cover those like a family PA. Then you can cover like driver's PA. There are so many forms of PA that you can actually cross-sell. Okay, right. PA is, of course, is more to accident. So again, if that accident itself causes injury, and that injury itself requires the insured to be hospitalized for treatment or for surgery, so that's where your medical comes in as well. And then your medical, besides the injury, of course, they also covered all those like illness, sickness, and also a disease, right? So other than medical, of course, we're talking about the basic one. You can start off with motor actually. So from this, motor. So after that motor, so in case if this client happens to be a very keen golfer and so on, so perhaps you may also want to recommend that golfer's insurance. All right. So there are something like about 8 of these personal lines that you can actually expand further. Okay. Right. Next one. So just to motivate, just to give you the extra motivation, so why personalize? Okay, so I've given you here some reasons. Okay, I just show you quickly here. All right, in terms of personalize, in terms of the size of the premium, I would say it's not that big, it's small. But in terms of that, the volume, in terms of the retention, is bigger. Premium is small, but retention is high. Okay, because personalized, as you know, you have many personalized compared to commercial, and we have more commercial compared to industrial line. So let's say today, if you happen to do like 100 of these personalized, if at all you lose any 1 or 2 renewal, if you lose some of the renewal, you will still have quite a fair bit of that retention. See, you can still retain at least quite a fair bit. But if you go for those industrial where the numbers on the volume is very little, so if you lose one account like that, one account, the premium is sizable, and again, you will lose the retention itself. Okay, so in terms of personalized, I would say that the retention capacity is better. At least you can be assured at 80-90% of the renewal are likely to stay with you. Okay, but doesn't mean that when talking about personal, doesn't mean that you cannot do commercial lines. So today, if you sell any of these personal line, you can cross sell to commercial lines. By all means, do that as well. What I mean is that today, if you talk to this customer, if you ask him what business are you in or what occupation and so on. So if our friends say, oh, I'm a business owner or whatever, then you can even cross-sell to commercialize. Right, so meantime, let's focus on this personal. Now, as you know, cater to growing risk awareness and protection against life uncertainty. This is exactly happening today. Like just only recently, yesterday, you know, now you also heard about this earthquake, tremor in Johor, Sekamat, yeah. So I can tell you now, last time when you tell people, example, householder, oh, we have this earthquake extension, you like it or you don't like it, the earthquake is already added into your householder, you know. Last time they question you, why earthquake? Malaysia no earthquake, why earthquake? But now, because of this happening only just yesterday only, now you can feel that the tremor already in Sekamat and so on, right? I tell you automatically, these people will now ask you the first question. Hey, my policy got cover earthquake or not? You bet on me, I tell you. They will sure ask you, my policy got earthquake or not? Now suddenly they want earthquake, you see. So a lot of things that's happening today is also actually an eye-opener, you know. It's also a blessing in disguise for agents. Sometimes you don't have to sell, you know, they know how to ask you. So before this one example, if talking about flash flood, today suddenly, you know, the weather is unpredictable. So that means there's a flash flood. I tell you, every of your customer will ask you the first question, my policy got cover flood extension. And then when COVID happens at time, everybody start asking, you know, hey, ours got COVID or not? You see that? So I would say that sometimes it's not so good from the insurance point of view, but of course, from the agent's point of view, it could be a blessing in disguise. You don't have to sell such thing. They know how to automatically come to you and ask you whether do you have that kind of extension or not. Okay. Right. Of course, life uncertainty. Today, as you know, things can happen anytime, anywhere. No appointment on. So nowadays, also, regardless whether the person is young or old, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter whether you're old or young. If things want to happen, accident want to happen, illness want to happen, it will just happen. Okay. Right. The third one, of course, talking about regulatory compliance. Example like motor insurance, the client has no choice. So his vehicle, as long as it's used on public road, he has to take up the minimum third party motor insurance. Minimum. Okay. So that's a requirement by the Road Transport Act. Okay, then the next one, of course, if talking about personalized, I would say that is much easier to explain because you're talking about commercial, the perspective, what called the general, sorry, that commercial lines, you can see that it covers a wider perspective of risk. You need to understand all the fiscal hazard, the moral hazard, the risk management, right? Standard housekeeping, maintenance. There's so many things that you need to look at. But for personal lines, it's very easy. Personal lines, I would say that is straightforward. Not so much in terms of the risk, it's not so much wider as compared to the those like commercial. All right. And then again, if you look at those products, again, it's easier to explain because householder, you see all the coverage are all very, very standard. Okay. You do not have those like complicated kind of extension. You don't have to explain like what is spontaneous combustion, what is the EICB, all those you don't have to do. Okay. It's a very simple product to explain, and I would say that it's even easier to sell. Okay, so in terms of personalized, as I say, the volume is high, premium may be small, but the volume is high, and your retention capacity also is equally high. Okay, that's the good thing. Okay, next one is a profitable account. So again, all this you have also to be selective, especially like you're talking about motor insurance. Of course, motor is still the main portfolio in the market. As long as you are maybe as long as you are quite selective, right, in terms of those motor portfolio. So I'm sure that will bring you that kind of profit margin. Right. Not only motor, if you are looking at the medical example, so medical also, I would say that this is not a very profitable portfolio. But again, you have to be selective. So long as you select the risk, you underwrite it prudently, I'm sure that will bring you what I call these profits. So end of the day, when you talk about profitable account, means you are talking about your profit commission, right? If there's any risk that you feel if you feel that it's outside the company's risk acceptance, then just politely tell the client, right? This risk is, of course, is out of acceptance. Example, you're talking about medical and so on. If you know that this person already got the medical history and so on, and all his previous application for medical insurance, all has been rejected or subject to all those additional premium. So just kindly tell them this is outside the company's risk acceptance. Okay, cross-selling opportunities. So just like I mentioned a little bit, from the motor itself, you can start to cross-sell all the other personal lines. Then after you cross-sell all the personal lines, you can cross-sell into commercial lines. So like example, just like I mentioned, when you sell motor, you sell the auto PA. Then when you sell auto PA, you start to sell the standard PA. Then when you sell the standard PA, you sell the medical. After the medical, you sell house owner. Then you sell householder. And then you sell that all risk and so on. Okay, so this cross-selling for those personalized business. And not only that, after you start selling all these personal lines, don't forget, it can also between customer to customer. So if you have one of your customer who so happens also have somebody else or another friend who is interested to to take up the personalized insurance, so that is where you can cross-sell again from your current customer to a new customer. Cross-selling can take many forms. Right, so this cross-selling will definitely add on to your production in terms of the growth in premium. This will definitely helps a lot. Okay, right. The third one, of course, are higher customer retention, which I mentioned just now. Okay, positive impact on referrals. So in case if you have managed to help your client, okay, in terms of claims or in terms of any issues, I'm sure that dissatisfied customers of yours may also refer his friends or his relative to you. So any person who recommend to referral, I tell you, 50% the business is yours already. The other 50%, of course, is up to your closing skills. You imagine when this person recommends somebody to you, right? So the minute this person mentioned, oh, Mr. Chia recommend, refer me to you, the minute you mention the name only, 50% the business is yours already. Okay, so the other 50% you have to try your very best to make sure you close them. All right, the diversification of portfolio. This one is, I would say that this one also would definitely bring you the business. While our focus today is on personal lines, I'm sure Lompeck don't mind. If at the end of the day, you can also cross-sell all the other portfolios, why not? Okay, so just give me a few minutes just to focus on these, diversification of portfolio. So perhaps you may want to just quote me, just quote what insurance that you think is suitable for that property that I'm going to describe to you. Okay, wait, let me see. Okay, if you can share your thoughts with me, that would be very good in the message box. Okay, just show me in the message box. Right, let's say you talk to these customers, you already sold them the personal lines. Then the other thing is that when you ask them, Mr. Chia, may I know what's your occupation and what business are you in? So the minute our friend say, oh, I'm a SME business owner. So the minute they mention the business owner, you can already cross-sell. Okay, let's say here. What is EICB? EICB is an electrical installation clause. It's called electrical installation clause B. This one is meant for the commercial lines. So your personal lines, don't worry about EICB. Okay. Since you asked already, I just tell you now. It's for those machineries. Okay, just now we are talking about business owner, right? Now, assuming if our friend tells you, oh, I own a factory or even a shop for one. Okay, let's say factory, I own a factory, okay? So the minute when they say own a factory, so now you start the cross-selling. Okay, Mr. Chia, since you own your own factory, right? So just imagine if one of these days, due to the heating process, due to the uncontrolled smoking and so, if at all the fire happens, your whole building is damaged or destroyed in a fire, right? So what insurance would that be? So the first one, what insurance? Okay, you can tell me. If the whole building is destroyed in a fire, so that one will come under your fire policy. If you can type in your answer, that will be even better. At least can test your knowledge about cross-selling others. This is talking about from personalized cross-sell to commercial. Okay, fire insurance. All right, Tan, you're right. So first you tell them your fire insurance. Then after that, you move on. Mr. Chia, if at all the worst scenario, let's say, if the factory is down and it takes you about a year for you to rehabilitate your business, during that 1 year, you got no production, right? No production means no sales. No sales means there's no profit. If there's no profit, how are you going to cover all the monthly expenses that you may still continue to pay? Example, your bank interest lah, your maintenance lah, CEO salaries lah, and so. Where do you get this money to pay? So that one, what is the next policy that will cover against such financial losses? Then you have your fire consequential loss. Okay, then you move on again. Let's say if the machinery is non-stop, operation non-stop for 24 hours, right? So one day the whole machinery suddenly breaks down. So the minute it breaks down means your whole production comes to a standstill. Okay, so that one itself will come under what policy? The whole thing suddenly breaks down. Then you have your, okay, come, shoot again. If the whole machinery suddenly break down, then you have your machinery breakdown. Okay, is under machinery breakdown. Okay, if the breakdown, just like the fire, if the breakdown cost, let's say takes 6 months for the insurer to order the part, to supply the part, to install the commission, to run. So during this 6 months interruption, just like fire just now, right? You got no production, you got no sales, you got no profit. So how are you going to cover all those expenses incurred as a result of that? So you have to have your machinery breakdown, loss of profit. Yeah, MBLOP. Then again, you look at it, if 90% of their process are fully automated, means everything computerized, that one you need to have a electronic equipment insurance. Jenhua, very good. You just type in for me, Jenhua. Mr. Tan or Mr. Tan, I'm not sure. You just type in all the policies for me, so that everybody can follow. Right. So that one will come under machinery breakdown, loss of profit. If the breakdown causes interruption, is under your MBLOP. If the fire causes that interruption, then it will come under your fire consequence. Okay, Mr. Tan, thank you, Mr. Tan. You just start for me, so I don't need to type. Okay, that one is under MBLOP. P for profit. Okay, we continue further. If you talk further, you check further, then they say, they say that the process involve the use of the steam which is generated from the boiler itself. So the steam, they use it for curing, for drying process. So in case a whole boiler explosion or implosion, that will come under what policy? That will come under what policy? That will come under your boiler and pressure vessel. Okay, so that's under your engineering class. Belum lagi. Okay. Then after that, you move on again. Right. Again, if the breakdown of that compressor involving the cold room, the compressor breakdown, that one is under your machine breakdown. But if the frozen food inside that cold room, everything deteriorate because the temperature suddenly shot up, right? So all the frozen food stuff that was damaged as a result of the failure of the temperature. So that one, the stock in the freezer itself, that one damage, that one will come under also engineering class, but that one comes under DOS. Comes under what they call the deterioration of stocks. Mr. Tan, deterioration of stock. Okay, that's engineering class. We move on again. Now, when a fire happens, and then the back section, the robbers broke through the back door and cut away all those stocks that was not damaged by the fire. So the part damaged by fire, fire will pay. What about the part where the burglars broke in and cut away the goods? That one will come under your burglary. Okay, then let's say if the goods, they decided to send the goods out to the customers, right? So now they unload the goods, they load the goods from the warehouse onto the lorry. Okay, into the lorry. So the lorry on the way to deliver the goods, and the lorry overturned and so on. So the goods are damaged during transit, right? That one, you need a goods in transit. Okay, and if the goods are meant for let's say meant for sea travel, either they export the goods to other country or maybe domestically, from Pok Klang to, let's say, to KK or whatever, they need to pass by the South China Sea, right? So that one will come under your marine cargo insurance. And if the goods are the valuable type and they need it urgently, they need to send by air, right? So you send by air, you need also under marine, but they will come under your air cargo. Okay, air cargo. So that's under your marine portfolio. Okay, then next one. Just down the machinery, right? So if you're talking about fire, that one, of course, is only limited to fire. But if the machinery is under hire purchase with the bank, the bank does not want your fire policy. They want a more specific policy, where they want you to describe the machinery more in detail, and they want their name to be added into the policy as, let's say, as a lessor or as a lessee, like example. Okay, so now the bank says, I want your policy to cover these three at one time: fire, theft, and accidental damage. So that one will come under your machinery or risk policy. Just now you mentioned machinery insurance, right? It's under your machinery or risk insurance. Okay. Then the next one, if the factory, they're also using the forklift for loading, unloading, right, inside the warehouse and so on. So in case if the forklift accidental collision, overturning and so on, that one you may also need what insurance? The one you need what they call this, equipment or risk insurance. Yeah, just now the one that's static, stationary, under your machinery or risk. The one that is mobile one, that one can be driven, the one is under your equipment or risk. Then if all your office appliances, your laptop, your handphone, which is portable, the portable types, which the insured may carry with them anywhere, Malaysian, worldwide, that one you need an office or risk. Okay, so this one already comes under your miscellaneous class. Okay, you think that's about it? Some more, some more. Then the next one is that, of course, in any factory environment, of course, you also need manpower, right? So in case any of these workers shall suffer any injury, sickness, or whatever, so if at all, because of an accident, our friend lost one arm, lost the arm, will come under Group PA. Okay, so because of the accident, the employee needs to be hospitalized, again, for all those surgery and all this type of treatment, that one will come under your medical Group H&S. And then if you have this local workman, all right, local workman, you can also recommend the workman insurance. So this is a foreign worker. Of course, foreign now come under SKIPAM, right? So under the foreign worker, you can also recommend the foreign workman PA. During working comes under SOCSO. So if after working hours are anywhere, of course, we still have the foreign workman PA. So again, if you're talking about medical for the foreign workers, we also have the foreign workman H&S, or in bahasa they call it SKIPA, Scheme Kesihatan Pekerja-Pekerja Asing. Okay. Other than that, move on some more. Now, if at all that employee decided to take legal action against the employer for, let's say, for any management negligence, okay, or failure to comply with all the OSHA and so on. So if the employee is found guilty of negligence, causing injury to the employee, the employees are required to pay compensation. So that one will come under employer's liability. Okay, so again, talking about business, they are dealing with the public at large, right? So whether they're dealing with the customers or dealing with the public at large, so if any of this public who frequent their place for the purpose of the business, so any injury, any damage happen at their premises, the insured can also be liable under public liability. Okay, so again, any product which they have already supplied through all the distribution outlet, so any of the customers or consumer who purchase the product, who consume the product, shall come down with any food poisoning or come down with any injury or damage in a property, that one will come under your product liability. Okay, and last one, last but not least, you check again with the insured, who manage the company for you, example. So if the insured themselves, they manage their own company, I mean, that's perfect. But sometimes your customers, they have that financial capacity, but they don't have the expertise to run the business. You see that? So if they engage the so-called team of experts to run the company for them, right? So in case if there's any mismanagement or wrongful act, the shareholders can also sue the team of management, all those management for all those wrongful act. So all these team of so-called experts, they can also be insured under the DNO, Director and Officers Liability. Okay, so I sum up everything for you here. So you look at it. Okay, thank you, Amster Tan. Wow, you type in so many for me. Thank you so much. Okay, how many policies there, friend? So many, right? So you see, from personal line itself, you can even expand into all these commercial lines. You got it? Now, it can also happen the other way around. So let's say if you happens to have your customers on the commercial, right? So after that, you talk to them, you ask them, where do you stay? Oh, I stay in Segamat, example. Okay, from the Segamat itself, I'm sure you have a house, right? So we start again from there, from commercial to personal. All right, so that's just to show you in terms like cross-selling, it can be from personal to commercial, commercial to even personal and so on. You got it? So this session, 5-10 minutes on this cross-selling on other portfolio is to give you that the opportunity to explore further. Like I says, your personal line, the premium is not that sizable, but the volume is there. But if you go for these commercial lines, again, as I say, you have to be selective. Make sure the quality is there. Okay, so I'm sure that also can bring you in terms like your production. Right. So even if you lose 10 personal lines through all these non-renewal, you get one of these commercial lines can make up for your 10 that you lost in the personal lines. Okay. All right. So this is just to encourage you to cross-sell other portfolio. Okay. So that's talking about diversification of portfolio. All right. Okay. Up to now, all okay. Thank you, Amster Tan, for all the hard work that you put in for me. Okay, let's look at the next one, a client's profile. Okay, to uncover their specific personal insurance needs. All right, in order to be able to recommend them the necessary insurance, so first thing first, agent, you got to arm yourself with all the products knowledge. The products knowledge is like your medication. Itu macam obat. So in order to be able to recommend the appropriate product, you must know their symptoms. So we're talking about this profiling. Profiling is that we need to find out a little bit about this insured before we recommend our insurance to them. You got it? So meaning find out example the symptoms of the sickness or illness or whatever, then only you recommend your medication. So medication is your products. Okay, example, you just sit down and you talk to them. So example, you tell, oh, I'm 55, married, right? So my son work in a company, my daughter overseas, right? I live in a bungalow, I own this vehicle, okay? And I'm also what call a ardent collector, all this collection, okay? I'm also involved in all this scuba diving hobbies, okay, and then also a frequent traveler, and then employ two mates, and of course, parents staying together. So this is just example of risk profiling. All right. At least from here, you can roughly already like assume what insurance that you think is best to cater to his needs here. All right. So how are you able to gather all this information? Of course, a lot depends on your own skills. Okay. You must know how to talk your way, talk the way in a way that he can respond to you. All right. So that's why you see in this type of personalized insurance is very much related to human connection. It's human touch. If they go direct to buy the insurance, yeah, you may get a discount off the premium. But when it comes to claim or comes to any inquiries, it's nothing like personal touch on. You go like direct online, even you call up or whatever to that maybe to that hotline or whatever. I tell you nowadays, the AI will attend to you. Press 1 for English, press 2 for Bahasa, press 1 for what claim, press 2 for two. There's no human touch on. All right. So once you more or less gather such information, then you'll be able to roughly right. So these personalized insurance, these are all your products. Okay, on the right hand side. So this is your medication. The left side is example like the symptoms. Okay, the right side is all about your products, your medication. You got it? So you see, from here you can sell so many of these products. All right. So anyway, I won't go through one by one. I will just pick up the main one. So we'll talk about your fire, your house owner, householder, maybe your PA medical. Okay, that's about it. So others like those, others I won't touch on it too much. Okay, before we talk further into these products, now that you know your customer's profile is like this, and then now you know that these are your products, so now how to push this product through? Be careful. Sometimes you have all the products with you, but still cannot sell, Because why cannot sell? Number one, maybe the customer just don't like you. The way you talk, the way you express, he just doesn't like you. You see that? And then again, you can be a expert in terms of products knowledge, but why is he not buying from you? Maybe you don't know how to go on the same wavelength like him. So if this person, let's say, based on his profile, right, he's a very, very successful businessman, correct or not? So today, if you want this person business, you must go along the same wavelength with him, Of course, he got the right to show off, his position, he got the right to show off, right? So this type of person, when he show off, you cannot ignore him totally, So you got to go along the same wavelength with him, So even if it's against your principle, no way I'm going to bother him, no way I'm going to butter him. If you don't want to butter him, you don't want to bother, it's okay one, I tell you, there are many, many of the agents out there, right? Very simple. They just need to say one or two sweet words to get the business, you see. But if, let's say, agent, if you are the person who stick to your principle, no way I'm going to butter him and so on. I rather don't do your business. It's okay one, I always say, if you're not prepared to do that, there'll be many, many others out there who is more than willing to just say that magic one to get the business. You heard many times, right? Lembu punya susu, sapi dapat nama. What's the meaning of that? You work hard, but people work smart. You see, you do 99% of the work, but that 1% works smart. He just do that one. He just pick that 1%. I can get the business. You know what I mean? You do 99% of the job, okay? But I just use 1% of the words. I count him already. You see that? Okay, let me share with you some examples here. Okay, how to handle this customer with different personalities when selling. All right, there's no right or wrong answer. End of the day, you need to look at the individual person. So if you think that it works for you, then you apply. But if you think it doesn't work, it's okay. But if you have been using the same method again and again and again, and it still brings you the result, just continue with your old method. All right, until a time comes when your old method doesn't work anymore, you are losing your renewal, your quotation. You're not even getting your quotation, that kind of things. So it's time for you to draw a line and tell yourself what went wrong. So if it's the time for you to change, you have to change. Today the market, I tell you, is so competitive. So if you're not prepared to change, I tell you, there'll be people who is just willing to change and move forward. Okay. Right, so a very quick one. So the top one is just like closing. Is a type of closing method. Okay, I should know a lot of closing here. So which type of closing is suitable for what kind of customers? So we look at a quick one here. Okay, the first type of customer is this one called the best deal one. Who is this best deal? This type of best deal person, they either support you or they take advantage of you. Very simple one. So if he likes you, I told you already, if he likes you, even your premium you charge higher than other people charge, he will still give you the business one. So why is he giving you the business even your premium is higher? Because you know how to go with the flow. So example like this kind, very successful man, right? So if our friend, okay he wants some image, he wants people to say something good, he wants people to compliment, but compliment, what's the problem, right? So if you know how to compliment this, wow, Mr. Chia, you're very successful and that kind of thing, wow, your children over and so on. So our friend here, all the wow, enough already. Products knowledge, you know nothing about product, it doesn't matter. Important is you must know how to go with the flow, you see. So that's why our friend pass you the business. You only use that 1% of words, you can get the business ready. That agent who did 99%, all the quotation, blah, 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 and so on, product knowledge, perfect, still never get the business because he don't know how to go with the flow. You see that? So that's example, best deal type. Either he make use of you or he can support you. So if you want his support, you must know how to go along the same wavelength, right? So this one example, you need to use what I call this flattery clause. Successful people like him, you got no choice. You like it or you don't like it, you just go with the flow, try to compliment him, flatter him a bit, so that our friend also feel nice about you. You see that? So example, this flattery clause. Okay, the next one we have is the know-it-all one. This one. This know-it-all also, you also got to use some flattery, Okay. Too bad lah. Flattery means you need to compliment, appreciate them. So example, this guy may not be an insurance guy, right? But he has all the knowledge about insurance. Maybe his circle of friends are all insurance, So today when you talk to this person, you make sure also acknowledge his knowledge. acknowledge him. Oh, even though you're not in the insurance now, but the way you present yours, the way you talk about insurance, oh, really, I tell you, you're really, really good. You say not flatter, ma. So if you know how to flatter, you get the business. If you tell him, oh, what you know about insurance, you're nothing like me, lah. I FCI, you know, I AMI, what are you, man? You bring him down like that, our friend. Even your premium is so much cheaper. I tell you, you will never get the business one. Okay, right. So that's for people that know it all, huh? Okay, the next one we have like complaining on. So if your customer complain and complain and complain, how do you make sure that you can also close him? Okay, so the complaint type, you can use the reversal rule. All right. Example, if our friend complain because of something that is constructive, that is good. So if they tell you, hey, agent, your quotation very slow every time when I ask you for quotation by the time you come back to me a few days later I lost the business already because the other agent, the other insurer very fast one, you know, within 24 hours they get a quotation. Your one take 1 week too late. You see that? So if they complain based on your delay in responding, is good. It's something that can help you to improve further. You see? Then after that they say, agent, you talk only every time I ask you question you say you check and you never come back to me when you see same thing. If you promise to check for this person, make sure you check and get back to him immediately. You see, but you are not doing that. So because of that our friend complain. You see that? So if this is a constructive complaint that can help you in terms of your professionalism, I think it's something good. Okay, just take it as something good. But if this person complain for the sake of complaining and never support you with any business, then you need to draw a line. So you use this reverse close. You tell him, I don't want to service you already. I did something good, did something not very good, you complain, I can accept it. But when I do something good for you, at least say thank you. I'll be happy to hear the word thank you, right? But you just complain for the sake of complaining, fed up, you know, even like earn your commission, so I have no peace of mind, you know. You draw a line. Yeah. So this a complaining type of person. You got it? You want a business, you have to look at it positively. So if let's say our friend complain, but for the sake of complaining, but still they support you with the business, then you got no choice. Just go with the flow. You understand? Just go with the flow. If they complain those destructive complaint, left ear in, right ear out, that's it. Okay. All right. So that's a complaining type. Okay, another one is the impulsive. Now, impulsive example like what happened just recently, like earthquake. Suddenly, when the earthquake already, I tell you, this person, the first question they will ask you, or maybe agent, you will receive a lot of calls. Hey, agent, can you check for me whether my house insurance got earthquake or not? Got earthquake. Now, suddenly they want to buy earthquake. You see that? So impulsive people like that. They based on the situation that happens. Then only they open up their eyes. Like those days, when you ask them to buy all these medical insurance, they say, no need lah, no need lah. But when the minute the COVID comes in, everybody now suddenly want to buy COVID. You see that? So these are the impulsive people. Just recently, you know, the fire explosion in Putra Heights. When explosion happens, same thing, you know, everybody start asking, my policy will cover such thing like explosion or not. You see that? So these are the impulsive people. All right, the next one you have is the aggressive. So again, see agents, if your customer is the type of your potential customer is the aggressive type, right? Agent, you also got to be aggressive, you know, not over aggressive, aggressive in the sense that you want to get things done. He also want to get things done. You also must be like him, get things done. So if he asks you for quotation, all right, make sure you get the quotation up as soon as you can. Even they give you until Friday or whatever to get a quotation, right? If you can get it by end of today, you get the quotation out. Any queries they made, okay, make sure you get back to them immediately. So everything is like an urgent kind of things, you know. That is how things work. Aggressive people, they want to see things happen. They make things happen. They don't only see things happen, they make things happen. So for you as an agent, you also must be aggressive, meaning respond as fast as you can to your customers' needs. And then at the same time, when you are dealing with your MO, right? So you also need to push your MO, right? So your MO also must be also aggressive, you know. So if I want a quotation by today, you make sure push all the way and you get something all by today. Okay. So aggressive people, they make things happen. All right. If you want your agency, to be successful, example, you need to make things happen. Okay. Don't wait for things to happen. Don't see things happen. And the worst thing, don't know what happened. Don't know what happened means that's it. Okay. The next one you have is the pessimist. Now, Your products is very good. You got all the products with you, right? Of course, all your products are meant to serve certain purpose, but this insured or this person is the pessimist. He don't believe in insurance. Whenever you talk about insurance, don't talk so much insurance. Ini all this insurance cakap sajalah. Nanti beli semua okay nanti ke ini tak boleh, itu tak boleh, right? So pessimist people, you need to talk to them slowly lah. So maybe what you can do is that try to use example lah. You may try to use what they call the rational clause lah. Okay, maybe you check with them actually what was the issue like. Okay, so maybe our friend got past experience with another agent. You see, this agent what they call over promise but under deliver. Call also never reply call, things like that. That's why our friend lose interest in agency. So now you got to come in, you got to play a different role. So you got to show them that you are not that kind of agent which he perceived the agent to be. Okay, so tell them maybe you give them some rationale why that happened. So again, you need to also to convince them that there's something that you can even do for them. Okay, you need to buy their trust. You got no choice on that. All right, so this person, I tell you, even if this account is currently not through you, but you can help them to resolve their claims or whatever, I tell you, they will become your loyal customers immediately. Okay, the pessimists can suddenly become optimists. All right, so it's how you go along with them. Okay, the next one we have is this one is the cautious. All right, the cautious people, they are the type of person who needs time. So this one you can use like example, okay, you use like calendar close this one, right? Calendar close means don't force them. If they say when I make up my mind I want to buy, then I call you lah. The one normally means they won't call you. Okay, so if they are this type of person, you tell them, okay, since you need some time to make up your mind to buy, right? Okay lah, I give you until next week lah. So calendar means I put it next week. Okay, so next week, which day should I come and see you? So you say, okay, next week on Wednesday, then Wednesday I will come and see you. You got it? So calendar means you need to put a deadline. Otherwise the date will never materialize. If they tell you, I want to buy, I call you, the date will never materialize. Okay, so put a date in your calendar when to see them, and when you go and see them the second time, you close. Don't create the doubt, you just close. Assume that they already ready to buy, and after they sign up, you don't create the doubt. Sure, you buy, you don't bluff me. Don't do that. Okay, so that's for people who is the very cautious type. Cautious type people also, you need to do what they call the balance sheet. So again, you may also need to use something like rational, right? If you want them to switch the insurance from previous insurer to you now, you also need to do a balance sheet. That means you need to compare what are the pros and cons and so to make sure that they can be convinced to switch over the insurance from the previous company to you. Okay, so that's called balance sheet close. Okay, another one is the indecisive one. Your product is very good, agent. He admit, yeah, your product is very good, but no, they use a lot of but. I want to buy lah, but no, your product is good, but no, a lot of but. So if you can, try to take away the but, right? So if they want to buy, you use this one example. You use this similarity clause. You tell them no but lah, friend. First thing first, you believe this insurance is important to you, right? Example PA medical is important, right? Yeah, it's important but no but one. You use a similar clause. You tell him, friend, I got a customer like you also. Yeah, when we talk about all this insurance, very negative, decided not to buy until such time. So I told him, which is more important now? Protection more important, or is it your budget not important? So I said, now get the protection first lah. After our policy got 60 days premium warranty so get the protection first. And one of my customer who listened to me benefit, So when I told him to buy the PA, he said no need lah. But later he decided to take my advice, right? He signed up PA, And then 1 week later, boom, accident, and some more claim up to 500,000, At the time of difficulty like that, accident, someone lose the hand and whatever, and you got 500,000 in terms of the compensation. Why not? Correct or not? You better to lose one hand with 500,000, don't you think so? So this guy is so happy, even he lost one hand, but I got 500,000 or PA. Example, you see that? Now, another case, similar one, this guy refused to take my advice. He said, no need, nothing will happen to me. Okay? And true enough, 1 week later, accident, boom, 2 legs gone. And 2 legs gone, some more no money. That's the worst thing that happen, you see. So now I'm telling you, if you listen, take my advice, this is what you get. This person who fails to take my advice, that is what he get. The consequence of not buying. Got it, the benefit of buying and the consequence of not buying. Okay, so there's people to make them make that decision. Sometimes you got no choice, you make the decision for them. Okay, another one is the no boundaries. Okay, these no boundaries, again, these people don't see your SOP one. Today, if a friend demand for this, demand for that, you tell your customer, sorry, this one above my agency authority, this one above my agency limit. So these people don't care, man. They want you to make your decision. No, I don't care about your company SOP. What I want is this one now. Can you commit now? So that one, you got no choice. You use this one, no authority clause. It's not that I cannot close, it's just that I don't have the authority to make a decision. So it's either you take it as it is or you can just forget it. Okay, but here, other than no authority, you can always take this one, hand over. Since you don't have the authority to commit, right? So no problem, you get your next level. So let's say if your MO got a better, higher authority limit, right? So you talk to your MO. So if the MO got his authority to commit, he commits. But again, if your MO also got their own limit, they need to refer to the higher up, they might refer higher up. Okay, so somehow there will be a level that can help them to actually close the case one. Right? And the final one, of course, we have this one is the talkative type. So if your customer is the talkative type, what about you? What about you? You also got to talk, but let them talk more than you talk. Remember, sales is your client talk more, you listen more. Okay. All right. So example, flattery close, I mentioned to you already. Calendar close for people who are very, very cautious. Handover for people who don't have the authority to make the immediate decision, right? And then this one, never the best time close, especially for the indecisive one. You tell them now you are insurable, you better buy. If you don't buy now, in case if tomorrow anything happens, you ask me to make a U-turn, ask me to backdate the cover to cover you. I tell you sorry, when you're uninsurable, you cannot buy anymore. So now is the best time for you to buy. You better buy now. Okay, so you use the similar case I mentioned. The one that listens to you enjoy the benefit. The one who refuses to listen will pay for the consequence. Okay, humor close. Example like talkative people, right? Sometimes you can diffuse the situation. Don't have to be so serious one. So during your sales talk, whatever, you can crack a bit of jokes, you never know. Okay, so you can close because of humor rather than anything. All right, rational people, this one, people who is a very, very cautious type people, you need to use rational. Okay, daily cost, just not the one undecisive. I want to buy now, but you tell them what, but the premium very expensive. Okay, if the premium expensive, you break down into 365. So let's say your 1 year premium is 500 ringgit. We break down by 365. 1 day is only about 1 ringgit. So when you see the 1 ringgit compared to the 500 ringgit, there's a lot of difference. Okay, so this is basically some of the closing techniques that you can use to address customers with different kind of personalities. All right. Okay, before I move on, so can I get some feedback from you people? Is this okay? All good? Okay, let's see any question. Oh, the best deal is Steven Jia. Thank you. Best deal. Okay, all good. All right, let's move on. Sorry, agent. Sometimes you may feel like, hey, Steven, why are you catching a train? Why are you catching a train? No, I just want to make sure that I can deliver all the message to you. I don't want halfway like that. I give you only 60%. I don't want that. So make sure at the end of the day you get 100% of what I want to share with you. All right, now that you know how to handle these people, okay, so now the next thing, let's move on again. Okay, your essential product knowledge, very important. If you are talking to these people here, this one, the know-it-all one, apa you cakap, dia pun tahu. So every time when you say, our house owner, I know. When you talk about this, I know everything you say. I know. Kalau dia betul-betul I know, you got no choice. Is to say you need to show your appreciation. You need to flatter him. Oh, Mr. Cha, I was about to share with you house owner and householder. Before I could say, you already provide me with the answer. Who you're loud, correct? No? So our friend the tail also up already, right? I tell you, just like that, can close already. Even your premium higher, so never mind, it's okay. Because I love to hear what you say. You see, I love what you say. Enough, my friend. Okay, products knowledge is important, especially when you meet a person who knows everything about products. Okay, first one, example, fire. Okay, now they ask you, friend, my house, why the banks, they insist of taking a house owner? Why not fire? You see, fire, the premium is so much cheaper, you know. So why are you taking a house owner for me? This person who is the person, let's say a very careful type person, right? Very careful, very cautious type person. They want to know more in detail before they make a decision. Undecisive one, you know. I want to know more in detail first before I make a decision. Why house owner when the fire is so much cheaper? So can you tell me that? You see, so if that customer throw you this question, you make sure you are able to explain to them, correct or not? So kalau dia tanya ni soalan, you jawab apa tahu? Ini saya pun tak pastilah. Ini saya pun blur lah. Ini saya kena tanya lah. Ini memang sudah lama dalam industri ni 50 tahun lah. Ini policy memang sama punya lah, brother. Sama punya lah. You mana-mana tanya sama je lah. If you say everything sama je, you are no different from the other agents, correct or not? I want you to tell me rational lah. This like rational close. Why fire? Why house owner? Rational. Oh, Mr. Chia, kalau you tengok ini fire, premium murah. Mengapa tahu? Sebab hanya fire lightning saja. Ini macam private dwelling 0.005 saja. Memang murah. It's cheap, right? Tapi kalau nak tambah ini semua, flood lah, windstorm, earthquake, all these things, kena bayar punya tau. So now you're using from the low to high method. Low to high closing. You quote them the very basic premium, very cheap, right? Any other thing you want, kena tambah. Ini semua peril, flood, windstorm, ini kena tambah premium. Okay, yang ini semua bushfire, semua kena tambah. So by the time you tambah all these things, your premium is no cheaper than house owner. No cheaper. You understand that? Oh, like that. Yeah, it's like that. It's cheap because it's only basic cover. The others are add-on, you need to pay. Like that lah. Okay, so now the bank say, okay, if that's the case, we will put you under the house owner. Okay, so this is fine. Are you clear with that? So this is a very basic one. All the perils are add-on. So why cheaper? Because it's only 1 in 1. When I say 1 in 1 means only fire, lightning, and explosion. That's about it. Okay. Then if they ask you, okay, we talk about fire first. All right. Okay, this fire, just to test your knowledge on this fire. So let's see, you just need to tell me right or wrong. If your answer is right, I mean, that's perfect. If your answer is wrong, let's try to right the wrong. You understand? Okay, the first one. Fire cover caused by heat, smoke, water damage. Is that true? Or is it right? I purposely use the word right or wrong instead of true or false. Because it's wrong, I want you to right the wrong. Okay, betulkan apa yang salah. So sekarang jawapan betul atau salah. Kalau salah, kita betulkan yang salah. Okay, first one. Does fire cover heat, smoke, damage, and so on? Okay, let's see. This one, if you can respond, that would be good. Can you do that? Okay, salah. Okay. Okay, so far it's only Tan. Okay, salah. Okay, the rest. Heat, smoke, water damage is covered. Ini betul. Okay, Tan is right. Other than direct fire damage, we cover also heat damage, smoke, like the Putra Heights explosion. The Putra Heights, even though the fire occur 2-3 kilometers away, so any houses where all their aluminium roof and so on are all distorted, melted, that's all part of your heat damage. Okay, so it's right. Okay, number 2, fire caused by electrical fault may be covered under the standard fire policy. Caused by electrical fault. So ini memang also true, right? Okay. If only the short circuit, no fire, then salah. As long as a short circuit or any electrical fault that results in a fire, that is good enough. Okay, so there must be a fire. Okay, third one, earthquake. Okay, let's see. What about earthquake? Okay, anybody else? Okay, can you respond, Aijen? If you all can respond, will be very good. Okay, so number 2 is also right. Okay. Right. Okay, good. Okay, anyway, I got to go to the chat box, come back. Okay, anyway, I just show you lah. If you can just show me answer. All right, earthquake is an exclusion. So unless it's extended, kalau tak ada lah, yeah. It's not covered this one. Yeah, it's not automatic. It's by an extension only. Okay, the fourth one, act of negligence causing a fire. Negligence, ini memang anything that's intentional, we don't cover. So if the insurer intentionally go and set fire to their own premise, that one we don't cover. But anything that's an act of negligence, yes. Okay, number 5, the fire policy can be issued on a first loss basis. Number 5. I need to look at my phone also. Okay, what about number 5? 5 is no first loss one. Okay, let's see. Fire policy, we don't allow first loss in terms of the sum insured. So it has to be the full reinstatement value. Okay, salah. So ini yang betul full market value or reinstatement value. Okay, the sum insured under fire policy must reflect the current reinstatement value. Betul Okay, fire always pay out the claim in full. Betul kah? Pay out the full claim. Full claim? Tak ada ini of course with average apply. All right, so there's basically some of the Q&A relating to your fire insurance. Okay, you got it, All right, let's move on. Okay, now the interesting one is this one. Why house owner when the fire is cheaper? So now you got to use the rational clause. Okay. The line is very bad. I can't get through. Okay, now the more interesting one. If you meet this person who is number 1, example, aggressive, I demand for an answer. I want your answer now. Why house owner, which is much more expensive as compared to fire? Okay, why the bank still insists that it must be house owner when I want a fire policy? Okay, so now, okay, now I got it already. Karen, I just enter my handphone. Just log me in so that I know what's your question here. Sorry, give me a minute. Right. Okay, now I can see your answer. All right, can you just type in your answer for me? Okay, house owner, householder. First thing first, the premium for your house owner is slightly more than your fire because house owner, we got 5 in 1. Just now the fire only 1 in 1, fire and lightning only. House owner, we have the 5 benefits in 1 policy. So when you're talking about 5 in 1 compared to 1 in 1, so naturally your premium for 5 in 1 has to be higher, right? Okay, what are the 5 in 1 example? So first one, fire and lightning is the first one. There's just now your fire policy, right? Now the number 2, all these perils, under your fire, these are all add-on, you must pay. Under your house owner, all these we built into your package already. Okay, so whether you want the flood or not, the rate also apply. You don't want the storm cover, the same rate also apply. You do not want the earthquake, the same rate also apply. Okay, so customer may not be happy. Why you give me flood? My building is sitting on a higher ground. No way you flooded. Why do you give me impact? My condo, I say 20 story. The car can fly 20 story, man. Mr. Chia, you like it or you don't like it, all this peril already built into this package. So even if you don't require the coverage also, the standard rate also apply. But then again, you 20 story, yes, you don't need flood, you don't need impact. But other people, they require this one, or other people whose house is on a lower ground, right? Of course, they need flood, right? And all those people whose house are facing the main road, a lot of cars passing by here and there, right? They need the cover, you see. So you may not need, others may need it. So it doesn't matter. We just put all in. okay, to suit to all the different needs, right? So this one is package. Then number 3, okay, this all lens can extend on. Okay, number 3, just now your fire got no theft damage. So under number 3, house owner, if there's any theft or any attempted theft causing damage to your doors and windows, right? So under your house owner, we give you another benefit already. Fire, you don't have this one, right? Now we also include theft damage to your premises, right? And not only that, whatever premium that you pay, example, you say you don't need flood, you don't need impact, right? But that one, which you don't require the perils, right? We make up for it by giving you the theft cover, you see or not? Then we make up for you again for the premium that you pay for flood and impact, right? Which you don't require, but we add in, example, public liability. So anything, any injury or any damage to the third party caused by the defects of your building, that one can result in a liability claim, you know. So we also build in this public liability as part of the package. So you can see that you are paying the premium, unnecessary premium for the flood and the impact, which you don't require, right? But we make up for all these shortfall by putting in the public liability. So if you take up a public liability policy for 50,000, you still need to pay like, you know, at least 100 or 200 ringgit minimum premium. But this is already built in, okay? Already 4 in 1. So the next one we build in for you is your rental. If you cover under your money policy, if you cover under your fire policy, rental, you must pay premium. You put there item 1 on building, right? Item 2, 12 months rental at 10,000 a month. We will charge you the rate based on your annual, based on the rental that you selected, you know. So that one itself will cost you additional premium. But under your house owner, we built in this 10%, right, as part of the package. So the one on the right hand side is upselling. All these are extension that we can add on to the basic here. You got it? So now, why is the house owner a bit more expensive than the fire? Because we have 5 in 1. Why is the fire cheaper than the house owner? Because the fire only 1 in 1. So that makes the difference. Okay, right. Now the next one. What about house owner? House owner. Why the house owner more expensive than the householder? Okay, let's look at the a quick one on the coverage itself. Okay, house owner, you know, covered boundary, gates, wall, fencing under the main policy. Is that correct? Is that right? Okay, come, give me your answer. Betul ke? Okay, good. So far, I only can see from, okay, good. Right, Tan Huat Auto. Okay, so that one is covered. Now, you take note, if you cover under the fire policy, all those outbuildings are not covered. If it's fire policy, all your fencing, your boundary, your car park, your dato kong, all this is not covered one. That one, unless you add in the outbuilding clause into your fire policy, then we cover you. Your house owner, you don't have to. This already automatically included into your package. Okay, so that's the right thing. Okay, what about number 9? Fixtures and fittings such as built-in, all the built-in, these are all excluded from the house owner. Built-in, okay, right? Built-in, what about built-in? Okay, next thing, all the built-ins are considered as part of the building. If you have your built-in furniture, your built-in kitchens, all these are forming part of the building, is all considered as house owner. Any movable items like your other furnitures and so on, so if your wardrobe, all those are movable type, then the one will be part of your householder. Okay, right, this policy number 10, okay, number 10, this policy also include cover for loss caused by fire, flood, and lightning. Fire, flood, lightning, correct? Okay, maybe you can type in number 10. There I know it's 10. Okay, 10. Okay, right. 10 is right. Okay. You see just now fire. Fire we only cover fire and lightning. Your flood is by extension only. So under the house owner, the flood is already inclusive. You see that? Okay, house owner insurance also covers personal belonging inside the house. Personal belongings. Belonging cannot. Belongings, the one is under your contents, house contents. Okay, house owner can also include riot and strike, RSMD cover as an extension. Number 12, okay, as extension. Okay, number 12, yes, okay, good. Normally we add in the RSMD, Okay, number 13, damage caused by termite is usually excluded. 13, termites. Okay, 13, right? Excluded termites. All right, so these are basically some of the the products itself pertaining to your house owner. All right, so if you get your answer right, I mean, that's perfect. If you didn't get it right, no problem. Just make sure you get the right thing before you leave that room. Okay, next one, householder. Now they ask you again, Mr. Chia, why the householder are so expensive than fire? Why the house owner are more expensive than the fire but cheaper than the householder? Why is the householder more expensive compared to house owner and householder? Because your house owner got 9 in 1. So just now, your fire only 1 in 1. Your householder got 5 benefit in 1. This householder got 9 benefit in 1. So when you're talking about 9 benefit, of course, your premium has to be equally high. Okay. So what are the 9? So the first one example, we have this. Okay. Just now the special perils are all the perils we mentioned. Okay. Already 2 in 1. Then just now the theft damage to the building, right? So this one householder, we cover the theft of contents. Just now is damage to building, now is contents. Okay, number 4, the public liability, anything got to do with your household goods that causes any injury or property damage to the third party. Okay, number 5, just now the rental 10%, the same thing, 10% of the sum insured on the contents. Just now 10% is on the building, this is 10% on the content. So these are the 5 in 1 that follows your house owner. Okay, what about the other 4 that we built into this one? That's why your premium is higher than house owner. Okay, so the other 4, example, we also cover this fatal injury to the insured. So meaning any of the name insured in the householder policy in the event of any death occurred resulting from fire or theft. So either the house burned, the owner also burned to death, or during the robbery, the owner was stabbed to death. So we also provide for this fatal injury, you see. If they were to buy a PA cover, the PA minimum premium also you have to pay like 75 ringgit. You see that? But this PA are already built into your package. Some insured is about 10,000 maximum. Okay, maximum is 10,000. So if you have husband and wife under the same policy, so if either one, let's say either one died because of this injury and so on, then we will pay like half, 5,000. Okay, 5,000, 5,000 like that. Okay, so that's fatal injury. That's number 6. Then what about the number 7? Okay, 7, of course, we have this damage to the fixed mirror. Okay, fixed mirror. Okay, this one is substitution. This is like cosmetic changes only. Right, then we have servants' property. And of course, the good one is this one. We also have this one called property temporarily removed. So meaning, if any of the perils here causes the current building to become untenable, the client got to move out, right? So when the insured move out, he may have to temporarily rent a premises elsewhere while waiting for his premises to be cleaned up and so and so. So if our friend happens to take some of the belongings from the current damaged premises to the temporary premises, so anything happen at the temporary premises, we still provide up to 15% of the sum insured. So now, how many we have now? 9 in 1. You see that? Okay, so the rest are basically upselling. Now you know the difference, right? So why is fire much cheaper than house owner and householder? Because fire only got 1 in 1. Fire, lightning only. Why your house owner is more expensive than the fire? Because house owner got 5 in 1. The fire only 1 in 1. You got it? Why the house owner cheaper than the householder? Because house owner got 5 in 1. Householder got 9 in 1. So you make sure you're able to quote the 5 and the 9. Faham? So that's the difference here. So if you meet a customer who is the very cautious type, all right, who is the person who knows, who think he knows everything about this product, right? That one, you need to make sure that you also be able to use your credential, to be able to convince this customer, right, that you are at least on same par with him or better than him. Anything he question you, you can provide him the solution. You see that? That is what you need to be. All right. So that one we call it credential close. Credential means you must have the full knowledge about all these things. All right. Okay, house owner, householder. So next one, let's look at the coverage again. Okay, maybe you can type number 14, then we know that it's from 14, right? 14, either you type R or whatever is it. Okay. Okay, now number 14. Okay, householder can be purchased separately from the house owner. Is that right or wrong? Okay, number 14. Betul atau salah? 14, right? Okay, house owner under section 1, householder under section 2. So if I'm the owner, non-occupier, I just need to buy house owner. Okay, so if I'm the tenant, that means I'm the non-owner occupier, I can buy contents. So if I'm the owner occupier, then I can buy house owner and householder. Okay, right. Number 15, the policy protects household contents. Is that correct? Any household contents, including all your personal effects. Okay, number 15. So far, only Tan and who else? Tan and what Otto. The rest, how the rest? I'm still waiting for you to respond. Okay, so number 15 is wrong. 15 belongings. Tan belongings. Household contents. Household contents will come under your householder insurance and all their personal effects. Okay, number 16, household also covers loss damage to content during home renovation work. Renovation. If normal occupation is okay, but if you're doing any minor renovation, so if at all any fire or any accident happen, causing damage to the content, so under your householder, is that covered? Okay, number 16 is wrong. Okay, 16, you need to extend this one, alteration and repair. In your fire, alteration repair is a free add-on, okay? But under your householder, this one must pay on. So this one, I think you need to pay like 0.035. Okay, number 17, theft or connect require evidence of forcible violent entry. 17, okay, good. Now I see more names already. Okay, good, keep it coming. All right, number 17, forcible violent entry. Okay, there must be forcible violent entry. If you want to take away that forcible violent entry, we have another extension called the extended theft cover. The one must add on. I think you need to pay like 0.25, for those extended theft cover. All right, the number 18, householder automatically cover items taken outside the home. What about 18, outside the homes? Anybody? 18, come on, one more. Outside the home, that means anywhere outside. This one is more appropriately will come under your ORIS. Remember just now I mentioned the ORIS to you. If that personal effect belonging is in the house, so any break-in, of course, that will come under your household. But if you take up this ORIS cover, this ORIS means it can be a home, it can also be outside. So I do this. If you happen to carry your personal belongings anywhere outside, so due to any snatch, theft or whatever, so that one will come under your ORIS. Okay, so now the difference between fire, house owner, and householder. So this is the one where you need to make sure that now when you talk to customers who is the very aggressive type people who demand answer, or someone who knows everything about insurance, or the one who is the very cautious, who wants to be sure first before they make a decision. Okay. Okay, next one, number 18. Okay, let's look at the, no, not 18. Let's look at the next one under your PA cover. Right, so I share with you your fire, house owner, and householder. So let's look at the next one under your PA cover. Okay, in your PA, we talk about permanent disablement. So the basic cover is only accidental death and this permanent disablement. That's about it. So permanent disablement means it can be due to the loss of limbs, it can be due to paralysis, loss of eyesight, loss of speech, loss of hearing. So this is a very basic cover. Okay, so now the client asks you again, if I got 3-4 PA policies, can I claim across? So let's say if the person lose one arm, every policy got 1 million, so can he claim all the PA policies or not? So if I total up the 5 policy, loss of one hand, I got 1 million ringgit. Okay, assuming our friend bought 5 PA policy, 1 million each, right? So assume one hand loss is 50%, right? Or 50%, every policy pay 50%, right? 5 million cover, I got 2.5 million ringgit, man. Loss of one arm, I got 2.5 million ringgit. Correct. Okay, if that's the case, yes, you got the right to claim across the policy for this disablement. If you're talking about medical expenses, then tak boleh lah, right? But in terms of these capital sum insurance, yes, you can. Okay, let's look at the coverage here. So we are only talking about the basic PE, accidental death and permanent disablement only. Now, the market today, if you look at the market, a lot of companies, they offer a very, very wide kind of cover for PA, the policy I came across, some company even give up to 25 benefits in the PA policy. So besides the accidental death and permanent disablement, they also add in a range of other benefits, Example, they're adding things like what double indemnity, public transportation, right? They add in due to HIV infection, due to blood transfusion, right? And then they add in kidnap benefits, TTD, right? Mosquito bite, insect bites, macam-macam, 25 in one. Okay, but if you are looking at the basic cover, that's the one, death and PD only. Okay, let's look at it, whether it's right or wrong. Okay, number 19. Okay, now you can continue with number 19. Okay, 19. PA pays a lump sum benefit in the event of accidental death or injury. Yeah, that means it's 100%. Okay, the disability here depends. It can be anything between 1% to the maximum of 100%. So 1% means the loss of limbs, especially the leg. The leg, you got the last toe with you. So the last toe, if any disability or if you lose the last toe, they may even pay like 1% of the capital sum. So if you lose, let's say, the loss of eyesight, then they'll pay you like loss of eyesight of both eyes, then they'll pay you like 100%. So loss of maybe loss of hand at the wrist level, so maybe they pay you like 50%. Okay, so it can be anything between 1% to maximum 100%. Right? Okay, so PA can also be packaged like something like between like 200 to 1 million. Is it possible? Package? So personal lines, like I say, nowadays we do make it easy for the customers to buy. Number one is easy. Number two is premium is very, very competitive, all right, with all the host of benefits given. So normally we make it easy for the customers, especially we also need to look at their budget. Okay, so we put like plan A, 200,000, and then 300,000, then 500,000, 700,000, and so on. Of course, the one that's 1 million is only for class 1 occupation. So maybe for the class 2 or class 3, the maximum they can go is maybe like 500,000. Something like that. So there is actually all this alternative plan for the customer to choose. So this one we can call it like budget close, or we call it like an affordable close. You know what I mean? Affordable means we look at the premium for plan A, B, and C. So which one we think that suits their financial at the time, then you recommend them accordingly. Okay. Right. What about 21? Okay, 20 is right. Okay, what about 21? PA policy will pay for death caused by heart attack. Heart attack, no. Heart attack is a medical condition. So PA only pay if it's accident. Okay, 21 is wrong. Right, good. Okay, what about 22? Policyholder can claim PA and also from life for the same accidental death. Okay, life and PA, can they claim both? Can, 22? Okay, right. All right, suicide is covered after 1 year waiting period under PA. PA, no waiting period one. PA, anything that's a suicide, attempted suicide, self-inflicted injury, all these are exclusion. But if you have a life policy, of course, life, after a year, any suicide, whatever, the life will pay, but not in terms of PA policy. Okay, so that's basically relating to your PA cover. Okay, Karen, do you want to take a 5 minutes break before we continue?
Yes, Stephen. Okay.
Yeah,
sure,
right.
sure. Thank you.
Now it's about 3. Wah, come 5, 3:40 already. 3:30 already. Okay, 5 minutes. All right. Okay. Okay, let's look at the medical. Right. Okay, so again, medical, these are very standard kind of called a benefit. All right, so again, let's look at number 24 onwards, right or wrong? Okay, medical reimburse insured for hospital surgical expenses due to accident, illness, or injury. Betul ke? 24. Okay, type 24. Let's see. Okay, what about 24? Accident, illness, sickness, or disease. Betul, huh? Okay. I don't see any answer here. All right, number 25, all medical plan automatically cover pre-existing. So if you know this product well, you know that the pre-existing is an exclusion. Huh? Okay, what about 25? Can you still hear me?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, because my phone, I can't see any message already. Okay, 25 is a pre-existing tak boleh, the one is an exclusion. Okay, what about 26? Co-sharing and deductibles are common in medical plans. Correct or not? Co-sharing? Definitely, yeah. When you talk about co-sharing here, already this is a co-insurance, especially we are talking for upgraded rooms. So if the client purchased the plan, let's say for 200 for per night, our friend got no rooms, I go and stay in a 500 ringgit per night room. Of course, this one we will apply that co-sharing basis, okay? Upgrade room. All right, number 27, maternity benefits are included in all standard individual. Now this one, if they purchase that medical, let's say for ladies, maybe company also they do have those like life insurance, medical insurance, especially cater for ladies. Okay, so that one unless it's a ladies product. Okay, number 28, medical card guarantees that all medical expenses will be approved and covered. No, we don't cover everything on. Not all will be approved. Those those expenses that is what they call this a medically required one, we will pay lah. So other than that, any other expense not related to the sickness one, of course we won't pay. That's why sometimes the client got the wrong perception, thinking that now admission means everything's payable or not. Anything not related, not medically necessary, we won't pay one. Okay, number 29. Okay, 27, 28 is wrong. Okay, what about 29? Medical insurance covers organ transplant cost, but not the donor surgery. Correct, Okay, this organ transplant, we only cover once in terms of the medical cost incurred. So if that insured, our friend, where he go and source for that kidney or whatever, the one we don't care. So at the end of the day, when these two patients is admitted, one is to transplant the organ and so on, we only pay for the insured. So the other party, the one they have to pay themselves. And this organ transplant, we only pay once. So the organ means there are something like, I think, five organs. That means your heart, your kidney, your liver, okay? Some more pancreas. There are five. So the most is we only pay once. If this person within a space of 5 years, got 5 transplant, I mean this person come to die already. Okay, so the once only. Okay, so that is your medical. Okay, next one, we look at golfers insurance. So this one is if your customers happens to be already is your kaki your golfer kaki or whatever. Okay, I mean you can always propose this golf insurance. This one is very simple and the premium also very cheap one. Right, end of the day, it's always good to have at least some form of coverage rather than no coverage at all. Because as you know, even play golf also they also have their own risk. Especially at the golf course center. You know, number one, there's always possibility of the golf club equipment when missing or stolen, right? And then you also know while playing golf, the likelihood of accident cannot be discounted. So example, when they walk at the golf course, when they see the buggy, or even the weather is not so good, sometimes suddenly there's a lightning and that kind of things. So PA is possible. Right, lots of personal belonging, okay, medical expenses to caddy, and of course, like public liability. So sometimes when you play golf or so on, you never know. If you hit the ball, either too hard or whatever, you may hit onto somebody. Of course, in golf, the most interesting is the hole-in-one. So what is this hole-in-one? Hole-in-one is not actually a liability. Hole-in-one is actually more like a reward. So if any golfers who manage the hole-in-one, example, right? So this policy will reward him with some form of maybe some cash. Okay, maybe we pay up to 500 ringgit cash. All right, for anyone who achieve the hole-in-one. So the 500 our friend can go and enjoy either at a golf club or whatever is it. Yeah. Okay, this golf insurance we only cover if it's at the recognized golf course. Driving range, we don't cover. All right, so that's your golf insurance. Okay, the last few things is on on this cross-selling, right? So cross-selling, I mentioned to you just now, what I shared with you just now is between product to product. You got it? So when you sell house owner, you sell householder. When you sell PA, you sell medical. Example, these are all product by product. So earlier, you remember all the commercial lines that we talked about? If you sell fire, you must sell con-loss. When you sell machinery, you must sell the breakdown. When you sell these what else? When you sell the burglary, you must sell fire. These are all product between product to product. We call it P to P. Okay, or it can be like between business to business, but this one is C to C. This one is C to C means it can be your natural market, it can be a chosen market. So natural market means these are all the internal, whereas the chosen market are referring to external. So internal means example your own family members within your circle of family members, your family members. All right, the chosen market, these are all the external ones. So external example all the business associate, your circle of friends, your new acquaintance, and so and so. Right, which one you think is better, natural market or chosen market? Which one will give you more business? Anybody? Natural or chosen?
Initially should be natural, but eventually you need to
change
go
now
for
change
the chosen market.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, correct. You see, natural, how many can you sell? Correct. After you already more or less cover everyone in the family, right? So your business suddenly becomes stagnant, you know. So to enhance or to improve your sales further, you got no choice, So you need to go beyond the natural. All right. Okay. So you start off with natural, definitely, because in any business, start with your own people, right? So after you build up your natural market ready, then you need to go forward and you need to go out there to get what I call this chosen market. All this that is from the outside. All right. Okay, so natural market means okay, you can sell your new policy to your existing member. So in case if let's say Lompat happen to launch any new PA product or any new personal products, you can sell the new policy to your existing family member, means your existing clientele, or you can sell the new policy to the new family members if you have the new one. Okay, the next one is that okay, you can resell your current policy. So if you're not selling the policy now, which is already in the market, but you think that this product is still worth selling it or the benefits are still there, you can still sell to your existing family members if you have not sold them earlier. Okay, you can still resell the current policy to your new family members. So if the current policy, the benefits are still very good and it's still been selling in the market, so maybe you can still sell the current policy to your additional family members. So again, family members, after a while, everything will become like a bit dry out. Yeah. Okay, then the next one, you can ask your family members for referral. So any of these referral from your chosen market. Okay, so this chosen market can come from example. You think cold calling is it easy? Not easy, cold calling. Okay, then you have this like social media, you have traditional marketing. All right, let me just look at this. Okay, among all these four, which one you think will bring you the numbers? Is it cold calling? Is it a social media? Is it a traditional marketing? Or is it referral? That one that will bring you the numbers.
I think referral.
Referral, okay, you say referral, of course, you're not wrong. But if you ask me, social media. You see, that traditional marketing and your referral, right? This one, you are actually going out to them, you are going to them rather than they coming to you, right? Cold calling, you need to go out there, you go and see you got to go out there to get clients, right? Traditional marketing, the same thing, you go and see your client every day, right? And then referral, when somebody refer to you, still need to go and see the person, right? So this is where you, from inside, you are going outside there. And you ask yourself, within a day, how many customers can you see a day? You're talking about your traditional customers. How many can you see a day? 3, 4? And then when you see your customers, the same customer again and again and again, are you selling any new product? Hardly, right? The most, I would say, renewal. The most is renewal. Other than that, I think basically just sit down, yum cha. That's about it, right? So today, you can explore further, go into this social media. Social media, you're bringing all these numbers from outside to inside. Instead of in to out, now you're bringing the out to in. You see that? And this social media, you don't know them one, you know. Anybody who have access to your website, your social media, if they're interested, all right, in what you have published in your social media or whatever, you never know. These people can PM, you know, ask you to private message them for more information. Okay, so do that. Make use of the social media. Number one, if you can have your own website, have your own website. Okay, so go and register one website, and then you can put it into the Google search and so on. So if you put your website in the Google search, at least you got 1% of being searched. Don't say 100%, just 1% of being searched. If you don't even have any website at all, the chances of searching for you is zero. You see that? And don't underestimate Google. I tell you, the numbers can be there one, you know. Okay, now number two, other than your website, you know, your social media, every one of you also use the Facebook, right? So your Facebook, don't just only show what you makan, where you go for makan angin, right? Don't only put that in, because sometimes when you put in what you eat, the first thing, your friend, your Facebook, will write one bocil, mau tak ajak saya lah bocil, right? You paisi, you invite the others, you don't invite this person, right? Our friend also feel like, you know, hey, why you invite the others, you never invite me? Misunderstanding, right? Bocil. Then after that, wow, you posted, you know, wow, you makan holiday, you go here, you went for these holidays, wow, you went to Europe, wow, of course lah, when people see your picture that, wow, you know, wow, you really enjoy your life, then in the heart, you know what they say, you know, the premium comes, the commission you earn comes from me lah. Without this commission, you can travel, man. In front, very nice, but behind, they think otherwise, right? Because of me, you know. So, of course, you can do that. But if you ask me, I take advantage of the social media. You know, your Facebook, they got the live stream, right? Live stream, so why don't you explore further? You can send invites to all your Facebook friends, right? You tell them tomorrow at 8 o'clock, I'm going to have maybe like a 20 minutes for 20 minutes kind of briefing on this latest product, you know, launched by Launchpad or whatever. You never know, right? So anyone who's interested, after that, they will, you know, log into the live stream, right? And then, agent, I tell you, when you talk to me as a friend, like just friend only, you know, but when you talk about product, you do all this very, very professional kind of presentation, your customers see a different you, you know. Oh, my agent in front is some other thing, behind who you're changi, man, one tap, man. You are actually creating your own image, you know. All right, make use of the Facebook, use the live stream, all right, project yourself in the media there. And then you also got TikTok, right? Take advantage of the TikTok also. I tell you, all these are social media that can create the views for you, you know. One time, I also never use TikTok one. I use like Instagram, what I do, you know. But finally, I was just wondering, why is TikTok gaining a lot of momentum, right? So after that, I just go and play lah. I go and register on TikTok, right? Simply put anything I want. So I post lah, video lah, you know, anything I can post, I post, right? Not bad, you know. When I post, that one day itself, I say, wow, I got 300 views, you know. Within a day, I got 300 views, you know. I don't care whether they actually respond or not, but as long as I see I got 300 views, not bad, you know. Rather than you go and see the person one time at a day, there's so much you can get, right? So you can get like 300 views a day on what you presented, not bad, you know. You never know. One of these days, this guy interested in what you posted in the TikTok, right? You never know. One of these days, our friend will come to you and say, hey, I look at your TikTok, very interesting. What product are you talking about? You know, things like that. You never know. So that's example. So after that, I see, wow, TikTok not bad. Then now I also got my TikTok already. Okay, so that's basically talking about prospecting. Right, okay, by chance. So sometimes all these telephone calls, right? Now, you also tell all those potential customers, should you have any inquiry, right? Please do not hesitate to contact us, this phone number. So remember, any phone calls, please make sure that you answer to the calls. So if let's say your clerk happens to attend to this call, right? Please train them to take down messages and take down the phone number. Because you never know, one phone call goes through, they're supposed to call you, they're supposed to negotiate or supposed to take out some insurance with you, right? So after that, you know what happened? After when the client call to your office, can you ask Mr. Chia to call me back? This one is very urgent and so, right? So if so happen your clerk or whatever, after listening to the phone, right, never even write down any message. Nothing, you know. Okay. Then after that, when you came back to the office, no message was communicated to you. And then what happened? Your client waited, no reply. Then finally decided to call you. Hey, Mr. Chia, I called you just now at 2 o'clock, asked you to call me back urgently. Why didn't you call me back? Oh, because nobody told me. Because of what nobody told you, you lose 100,000 business. You see that? So taking down message, phone number, and contact number, that's very, very important, because that is where you get your reference. Okay. If you see that the phone call is from income tax land, then no need to listen. Okay. Anyone you just if the number you are not familiar, you don't listen. But if you can, you just listen. You never know. So happen is one of your potential customers are waiting to engage you. Okay, customer without servicing also take note. We always think that everyone out there should have their agent, right? No, not necessary. Sometimes when this customer, they want agent, they also desperate, right? So they start asking for, hey, you know any agent, very good agent, agent can help us to pay premium one, or no need to pay back one. I got example. There got no need to pay back. So you see, sometimes they also ask for reference, right? For some reliable agent. So don't always assume that every customer out there, they have agents. Majority, sometimes they don't even have, when you approach them, they say, well, no, my father agent, my mother also, everybody also agent. But when it comes to the needs itself, I tell you, no agents there. Okay, so these walking customers also, you never know. So sometimes, so happens, what we say, example, a marriage of convenience, meaning what, sometimes they see that your office is very near to where they stay, right? You say, mafan, if I go downtown, at least 10, 20 kilometers, I might so buy for my neighbor, So sometimes because of marriage convenience, you may get the business. Okay, lastly, all right, what is this customer retention program? So agent take note. Initially, when you're talking about new business, right? Well, you spend a lot of time, a lot of effort, okay, and also invested a lot, right, in order to get your customers. All right, within a week, you spend like 3 days on the road, so and so. Then finally, when you manage to get the business, don't become complacent. Okay, because people say take 1,000 years to build a castle, takes only a few seconds to destroy it, So it takes a lot of time, effort, and investment to get a customer. So don't just let your customer just lose your customer just because of our complacency. Okay, all right. So example here, business had to come by, so you have to take the proactive approach. Nowadays, instead of waiting for customers, you have to go to them. No choice. All right. So you don't ask, you don't get. I always believe this one. You don't ask, you don't get. Sometimes we also want a face, right? After if I ask you, you think that I'm very desperate for business, right? No choice. If you're in this business, you need to survive, right? So you need to tell a client, I want your business. I'm hungry for your business. Use the humor touch, humor close, You just jokingly, without your support, I die, man. I cannot survive, man. You never know, right? You see, sometimes you don't ask, customer also assume that you're not interested. So one day, they go and channel the business to another of your friend, Then when you come to know about it, you ask this neighbor, hey, why your business you don't channel to me? I'm staying next door to you. Why you give it to my friend who stays so far away? So your client will say, well, because you never asked. I thought my premium 100,000 subscribe, you don't. You see, so you sometimes just need to open up. I want your business. Okay, next one, conduct a periodic review. So don't always have the habit like renewal. No discussion one. So year in, year out, renew same term, every year, in and out, same terms only. No, you need to show, to your customers that, all right, you take a serious view in what they are insuring and so and so. Because the coverage may change from time to time, you see. So now you see example with all this earthquake, last time you may not see the need for earthquake, So now when you do a review, so perhaps you may want to highlight to the client, right? So now this is the right time to be sure that the coverage, the earthquake coverage is also incorporated. You see that? So times change. So the exposure also change. So the insurance also must change. Cannot take for granted every year, same term. Cannot. Okay, the next one, okay, losing renewal, as I say, you have done all you can, 99% all you can to secure the business. So what it takes is just a complacency to lose your business. Okay. And lastly, all right, so if you can retain 100%, you try to retain all your renewal. But if not, at least 90%. And the 10%, sometimes no choice. They decided to switch agent, or they decided to go online, or they decided to lapse the policy. So, I mean, there's nothing you can do. But whatever said, on one hand, you go all out to get your new business. Okay, but don't forget at the back of you, you make sure that you also retain your client. So there's no point of getting 3 new customers out there, but behind there, behind your own, you lose 5 customers. Okay, so jangan sini dapat 3 yang baru, dekat belakang hilang 5 customer. Okay, so whatever is it, make sure that your retention capacity is there. Personalized, I would say that the retention capacity usually is much higher, because this one, as I say, a lot of human connection on it, right? So they bought also partly is because of you, not so much because of the product and so and so. All right, so if not, lebih kurang we have finished. Okay, so we just open for any questions if you have. Okay, let's see. Yes,
I have a
Mr. Tan, is
question.
it? Yes.
I'm Jianhua from Malaysia.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Mr. Tan.
Okay, I'm just wondering, since you have mentioned about the social media like TikTok or
Okay.
Facebook live streaming, right? So any favorite restaurant from the TikTok after you post a video with attract about 300 over people?
Yes. I see a lot of views, a lot of people who view, right? You see, when I go into TikTok, I just testing only. I just testing the market only, yeah. All the while I have others. I have Instagram, I got Facebook, I got LinkedIn, I got everything, except TikTok. Then after that, I told you I just try out the market, So when I put in, not surprised, one day I got 300 views, I just test the market. So after that, I didn't really go further into that. I just want to know how is the response, but not bad. And then if you really comes out with something, let's say a video, right? If you want a lot of followers, you need to create a video, right? Where this person can continue to look forward to your TikTok. You know what I mean? So let's say today you come up with something, let's say on insurance or any subject of interest, right? You make it such these people they can't wait to see your next view. You know what I mean? So today, let's say you post something on this topic, right? Then after that, they just can't wait for tomorrow to come. What is next? What is next? That one I tell you, you can get hundreds and even 1,000 of followers. But you need to keep your video interesting to make people excited. You know what I mean? I didn't really do that. Actually, if I want to do that, I can, but I don't have the time to go and do that. You can. TikTok is one of the very, very effective way to market your business, to market your product. Even if you look at my website, I have my website, right? If you look at my website, I also have all these testimonial, which I also put into my website. So sometimes when people want to know whether you can deliver the training correct or not, if I tell people I'm good, the one you see yourself on correct or not? No, I want people to say it's good. So if you don't believe me, you can go to the website. You can look for the testimonial where all the agents who attended the training, right? They put in their comments. So that one I cannot deny, correct or not? So this is where you will bring in all these people from outside to you. Let me share. Let me share with you whether what I've done. I tell you, it does bring result. Okay, let me give you one example. When I set up my website, right? I put in all the training courses that I conduct, right? I got one call from this FMM, Federation Malaysian Manufacturer. They saw my website, right? That I'm also doing all these risk management. They call me, and after that, they decided to engage me for one of the training in Kuantan. So the one I was doing for the RMAF Kuantan. That one I don't approach them. They saw me in the website, then they contact me. After that, they just engage me to conduct all this risk management in Kuantan. You see that? So you ask me got result or not? I say yes, I have. Then another one also is also in Bintulu Port. Also the same thing, So he saw what I put in my website, right? And after that, our friend also engaged me to do a risk management in Bintulu Port. So you ask me, you got result? I say yes, but of course you need to be patient. You cannot say today you put in immediate result. Cannot. It takes time to build up, definitely, especially the readership, the followers. It takes time. Okay, so Mr. Tan, go for it. Today is all about social media. Today, if all of us are still doing all the traditional marketing, not to say cannot, you can, but traditional marketing is now very slow, you know. Now, you are talking about the elderly, let's say last time the elderly one, we prefer to yum cha, right? But today, the younger generation, no more like that already. Today, younger generation is all about digital. Your quotation, e-quotation, e-claim, is everything about today, you know. So you have to adapt to all these digitalization in order to be able to stay competitive. It's like that. That's how things work today. Yeah. Okay, Mr. Tan, thank you so much for all your feedback, for all your for all the inputs that you put in for me. Okay, so is there any more question?
Oh, what's your website?
www.chh.com.my. Yeah, just I mean in case you'll find out, right? chh.com.my. You can see what I put inside my website.
How much will it be the setup cost? I mean, the setup cost.
Starting, it depends on how comprehensive you want it to be But for the start no need to invest so much What you want is only the domain.
Domain.
What you want only the domain only So example, now I use my email, right? steven@ch.com.my. You see that one also it carries your image, you know. If you use example gmail.com now gmail.com, not to say cannot, the Gmail I mean it's something that is more like a social use right? But if you want to be more focused more image wise it's always good to have your own domain. You see that? So you see, when you correspond with your client, example, today all about e-quotation, right? Today, if you use your email, you use tan at, you know, what is your company name, right? .com.my, it will definitely carries image. If you use the Gmail, example, let's say your Gmail account, you put a very funny name, right? You know what? There's one very funny email. You know what they put there? Can I kiss you at gmail.com? Can I kiss you at gmail.com? Hey, come on. If you use this email and send to the CEO and the female CEO of the company, you know what will happen, right? So you see, I mean, for social use, it's okay. But for business, you need to create account image. Okay? So this startup, you tell the designer, I only want a simple one. Maybe 5 pages only. One is for your profile page, right? One for profile, and then one for corporate, one for your testimonial, one for your product and services, another one for your inquiry screen. Enough already. No need to put video. No need video. Maybe you want to put 1 or 2 pictures inside, it's okay, but no need video. What is important now is the domain only. And your domain since you talk about your domain you create a QR code correct? QR. You create a QR code and you send out to all your contacts in the WhatsApp. So they just need to scan your QR code. They can get your company already. Even your product services are all through QR code. If you talk about digital marketing, I tell you there's a lot of things I can share. But since you asked about my website, that's why I share with you. Okay? Okay, Mr. Tan. Okay, good luck to you.
Thanks.
All right, Karen. So if not, then we end the session here.
Hey, thank you. Thank you, Stephen, for your sharing. Well, we will forward the slides to your servicing officer to share with all participants. If there's no more question, we will end the training.
Okay.
Thank you for your participation.
Okay.
Have a good evening.